Okay, hello, welcome to the first ever episode of Airsoft Pro Tips. Now, in this video we're going to be talking about the very basics of Airsoft, i.e. the things you need for your first game. Now, we're going to assume, for the sake of the video, that for your first game you're going to be hiring kit. Majority of sites in and around the UK, and from my understanding the US, do hire kit. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. Now, for your hire kit, chances are you'll be given a gun, which will probably be something simple, and you'll also be given face protection, and sometimes you'll be given camouflage uniform, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. So, what do you need to take to your first game? Well, boots. Boots are one of the most important things you can wear, for the simple reason that boots will turn a broken ankle into a sprain, and they'll turn a sprained ankle into nothing at all. Very useful, very important bit of kit. Secondly, gloves. Very basic thing, but most sites don't give you them. Now, they don't have to be anything fancy. These are a pair of tactical gloves. Doesn't need to be anything like that. A set of pound woolly gloves, you know, a couple of dollars, whatever, they will do. That's all you need. Now, I've got scars all over my hands from the early days when I used to play without gloves and I kept getting shot at point blank ranges. Not good, you don't want that. Get yourself a pair of gloves. Now, camouflage uniform. As I alluded to before, the majority of sites don't really give you the camouflage uniform. Some of them will give you a very basic one-piece overall. Some of them will even give you camouflaged overalls. Some of them will give you a two-part uniform to wear, but the majority of them don't. Now, the truth of the matter is you don't need camouflage to play the game, but it helps, especially if you want to be, you know, sneaking around and pretending that you're a soldier, because in the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Now, this kind of uniform, especially if you live in Britain, you can pick this up from any surplus store fairly cheap. I mean, you can pick up a top and some trousers probably for under £40. Now, the same in the US, except of course you won't be able to pick up the British DPM, but you'll be able to pick up the US RPAT or various other things, maybe even the old style US Woodland, fairly cheap. If you know where to look, you just need to take a look around some of the surplus stores. Some of the cheapest boots available on the market are second-hand army surplus boots. Now, army surplus boots are fairly hard wearing, providing of course you pick up a pair that haven't already been worn to death, but they're not especially comfy, as anyone who's ever worn army surplus boots will tell you. A way to get around this is buy yourself a pair of £1 or, you know, $1 insoles for your shoes, and they can make a massive difference, especially if you're going to be on your feet for hours at a time. Okay, so now that we've looked at what you're going to need to take, let's take a look at what you're going to be given, or what you're most likely going to be given when you get onto a site. Now, first of all, you get your gun. Something probably along the lines of this. This is an AKSU. Some of them will give you a full AK, some of them will give you an MP5 or G36. In some rare cases you may even get an M16. Every site is different. There is no real format for what kind of gun you're going to get given. The one thing that is fairly consistent is that they will all be an AEG.
AEG, air electric gun. A weapon like this that uses an electric gearbox to fire.
The other bit of kit you'll get given, one of the most important bits of kit you will ever use on the airsoft field, is something along the lines of this. Now, this is your face protection. Consists of two parts. Your lower mandible protects your face, your teeth. If you've got piercings like me, you don't want to get them shot out. And also you'll get something like this. Now, these are mesh goggles. They, unlike polycarbonate or various other kinds of goggles you can get, these don't steam up. Now, a lot of people don't really like the thought of having a bit of mesh stopping your eyes from the plastic BB travelling at 300 foot per second towards them, and that's fair enough. Which is why quite a few sites on request will also give you a pair of these, or give you a pair of these alternatively. Polycarbonate shooting glasses. They're graded to something stupid like 1000 FPS. Nothing's going to pierce those. especially nothing that can fire out of a BB gun. And finally, you'll probably be issued something like this. It's a fairly typical tac vest with lots of different pockets. Now we'll talk about tac vests more in the next video. So that's it for part 1. Tune into part 2 where we'll talk about what you will need for when you want to start putting your own kit together.